Hey everybody, it's Wednesday, April 14th, and this is The Daily. Greg, we're starting off talking today about some international player news.
We're not talking about taxes? Have you done your taxes yet?
I did my taxes.
Taxes are due tomorrow, everybody, but yes, international player news.
International player news, Robert Pires. Reports have him going to Philadelphia either sometime before this April 15th deadline or maybe in the summer. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, we had a report here on MLSsoccer.com actually speaking to Robert's agent over in Europe, and he was talking about how there is a deal. It's almost done. They're trying to get it done for April 15th. I doubt it's going to get done by the 15th, and we'll probably see him come in the summer. Philadelphia has been reported as the team that's going to be signing him. It would be an interesting signing. This guy's, look, he's won the World Cup. He played for Arsenal back in the day when they were, Arsenal killing everybody with Thierry Henry and Patrick Vieira and all that.
Right. I think that the argument against it, though, is that he's 36 years old. He'll be 37 by the end of the season. Is that really someone we should be investing in as a league, as a team?
Well,
that's a counter argument.
And that's my argument, too, is that, do we want to be spending all this money on a player like Robert Pires who's 36, or should we go and find someone who's 27? If you're going to spend all the money, you can probably find a good young player who's in his prime as well, who might actually help you a little more. You may not get the PR hit that you're going to get, let's say, with Robert Pires.
Yeah, to me, my answer to that is he better than the next guy playing that position? And if you look at Philadelphia's roster, he comes in, I think he's better at, whether he's a left wing or attacking midfielder, he's going to be better than who they have right now. He's going to improve their team, and to me, that's all I want.
Well, a player that Philadelphia is not going to be getting for sure now is Carlos Ruiz. El Pescadito, the former LA Galaxy player, FC Dallas player. He's right now with Puebla in Mexico. They lost on Monday to Indios. Everything blew up. The coach, I don't know, the coach has disappeared and some other problems. Sources here at the league do tell us, though, that they're going to still look at him maybe to come in July.
Unless Sebastian Letou has 15 goals by then, and then
they don't need him, right? Maybe he goes to D.C. or somewhere else.
Last night action, MLS, U.S. Open Cup match between two MLS teams who played over the weekend, and Colorado takes it 2-1, knocking Kansas City out of the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah, these two teams, obviously they've started some sort of a rivalry. Saturday's game in the league, there were lots of fouls, a red card, several yellow cards, and some trash talk afterward. And then on Tuesday, they have to do it all over again, and this time Colorado comes out on top. Wells Thompson with 2 goals. He has a history in the U.S. Open Cup, though. He did score the winner for New England in the final in 2008. But, really this is about getting some players some time. We saw Sunil Chetri from Kansas City make his debut for Kansas City. We saw Claudio Lopez make his debut for Colorado and actually got the assist on the winning goal.
There you go. We talked a lot about the lineups that teams should be fielding in U.S. Open Cup. Should they be going with their full lineup? Should they be trying to win, or is this something that you kind of play the reserves and see how they can do? We actually got a bunch of emails on it, so I picked out a few emails to read that I thought were notable. The one that stuck out to me is Grant Alpa writing in and basically saying that teams who are maybe in a rebuilding process, your DC Uniteds, your Chivas, should be teams that are focused on the U.S. Open Cup, because that's going to be their best chance to advance, get into Champions League. While teams like Real Salt Lake, who is in Champions League, they have a lot of games ahead of them, probably not going to field their best roster.
Right.
So
you got to manage your teams, you got to manage your players, manage them in terms of fatigue and things like that. And Real Salt Lake, of course, they have a big game coming up tonight.
Yeah, San Jose hosting Real Salt Lake in another U.S. Open Cup elimination game. Interesting, San Jose has the opportunity to avenge that 3-0 opening week loss to Real Salt Lake.
It's going to be interesting to see also who Real Salt Lake plays. I mean, the big name everyone is wondering whether he's going to get on the field, Luis Gil. The guy's a stud at the U.S. Youth International. Talk about him maybe signing with Arsenal and all of that. Ends up at Real Salt Lake after the special draft, or whatever we want to call that thing, right? And we'll see if he gets some time. He's still young. I would imagine this is a perfect chance for Jason Kreis to throw his young player in there, see what he can do against the real men.
Right.
And see if that creativity and that talent comes through.
Yeah, and word out of Real Salt Lake camp is that he's progressing better than they had even thought. So maybe they do think he's ready to get in there. A player that I'm looking forward to also, though, is Gene Alexander, their first-round pick, who they surprised everyone with last year, but they were really high on him. He played some games last year for the Austin Aztecs and impressed with a goal from midfield. So I want to see this guy against MLS competition, see what he can do do out
Well,
there.
we saw him a little bit last year. Good, crafty player. We'll see what he can do as well. Should be a good game. San Jose flying high after the win in Chicago, so that's going to be pretty big. Now, Jason, we have a couple of last-minute things. What do you got?
We're going to introduce the Wednesday Wildcard, which is basically
whatever we want it to be.
Whatever we couldn't fit into the structure of the show, we're going to throw it in now. So,
and this week
take it away, Greg.
it is footballmls.com editor Jaime Uribarri. His favorite new player right now is a young Belgian kid named Eden Hazard. He plays for Lille in France. Go check him out online. Google him. You will find some incredible stuff from him.
Plenty of clips on YouTube of him. I think he's already a big fan favorite out there. Just want to remind you to email us at thedaily@mlssoccer.com with any thoughts, questions, comments. We'll get back to them. We'll read them in the rest of the shows. And, of course, we'll be back tomorrow on Thursday.